Hey everyone, this is Joel.
And Noah from the Wealth is Health podcast.
This podcast is a conversation of our journey to financial health.
We think working till 65 just ain't it, and just like you, we're trying to make sure that never happens.
And if you're interested in letting us know what you're trying to do to achieve financial health and want to join us in our journeys, join the discussion on our Facebook at the Wealth is Health podcast.
Let's tap in.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Wealth is Health podcast. Probably this is episode 11 since we're just not going to release last, honestly.
We got the unreleased joints, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta
check out the Patreon for those.
Patreon. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. All right, but we're back though. It's probably been like a month, maybe 2 months, or probably not 2 months, but it's been a while since our last episode. So we got a lot of updates here.
Can I say something?
For us, yeah, you can say something.
I'm actually happy that those episodes are not releasing because I was kind of talking my talk on certain episodes, and I don't know if I want certain people to hear that.
Yeah, that's very.
Oh, that's how you really feel?
Right.
Like, nah, chill. Let me walk.
So you're not about to let them know how you feel now?
No.
Okay. Why not? You said after thinking about it for a long month, you realize.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just being aware of like how other people are gonna take things and all that. Okay. That's the thing that's kind of annoying because I be wanting to keep it all the way a buck on the podcast because I'm like I can talk to you like and keep it all the way a buck. But when just other people hear it, and then even if I don't say names, it's like they know who I'm talking about. Yeah. And those like we have a very limited amount of viewers, bro. That's a very limited amount of listeners. I can't just be pissing them off.
So far.
Yeah, so far.
But yeah, no, we want to come back. It's been very busy, I will say. I feel like both of us have been pretty busy. I went back to school. I had I don't know, school's obviously just a force. I know Noah's working on this property, so it was a pretty busy time, but we're not going to let Wealth is Health die. Not a chance. It's still going to be our log of our journey to financial freedom. We've still been in contact the whole time. Like, we've still been doing whatever, but I think we've both been in heavy grind mode since the last time we were on the podcast, which is good because it actually gives us something to talk about. So I guess we could just get into it. Really updates. All right. I think that's straight what we have. I have a list of stuff now. I kind of wrote it down real quick. But I guess let's just go back and forth, actually, so it's not just one of us talking for mad long. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll try it.
All right. So let's try it.
You want to trade off like Jada and Styles P?
Yeah, I don't know who those people are, but we can do that. Nah, don't look at me like that, bro. Don't look at me like that.
I wasn't even looking at you, though.
I don't know, but I can feel the way you were looking at me, bro. Chill. I'm too busy getting money to do. Anyways, I'll start off. Then. I'll start off then, right?
So we coming back spicy.
Coming back spicy.
All right, go ahead, bro.
I think the last time I was on the podcast, I was debating whether or not I want to do the rental arbitrage thing, and get this course, whatever. So I actually decided on getting the course. I'm currently taking it right now. The course costs $5,000, a lot of money. I think they do provide you with some good resources. But I'm not going to lie, I wanted to do co-hosting. These people seem to not give me the best advice when it comes to co-hosting because I asked them, like, how do I get started with it? And they basically told me, like, all right, you're going to need, like, word of mouth to get this thing started. And I was like, you're kidding me. Like, word of mouth, I could have found that somewhere else. But I still think the course is good. I'm still going through it. But it's not my primary focus right now. So my primary focus right now is real estate video and working with video production. Wait.
Before you get into that, though, let me talk about the co-hosting thing.
Okay.
So when I keep hearing people talk about like the Airbnb game, I actually don't really hear them mention co-hosting like at all. Like I hear them saying like start off with or potentially start off with the rental arbitrage thing, but I never hear about co-hosting.
There's like this
I think it's interesting.
There's a company called, I can't remember what the company is called, either like Encore or something like that. I can't remember. But basically they're just a giant co-hosting like platform. It's hard to get started with co-hosting though. Maybe that's why you don't hear about it as much. And people always say like it's such a good method, but I've only seen like a few people even do it. I just know it's a great way to do it when you have like not much money and not much experience.
Did you want to explain it?
Yeah,
explain to them real quick because I don't know if they remember.
All co-hosting is when you have a property and you're going like you have a property you either have rented out on Airbnb or you just want to get it rented out or you want to do something with the property. You don't know what you want to do with it exactly. So the co-hoster, I guess, goes to that person, the landlord of the property, and says, all right, you want to get this managed? I can manage it for you. I can edit the pictures. I can like manage the bookings, and you'll get 80% of the money for it, and I'll keep 20% because I'm keeping it running. So you just get 80% for doing no work, basically. So it's like that is like a property management company, basically. You're the same thing. You're managing people coming in, coming out, the cleaning stuff, and they don't have to do anything. They just give you the property and they just have their money come in. So it's like a pretty stress-free thing for them. And then for you, obviously you're doing all that work. But it's good because
that's actually kind of fire.
It is fire.
Yeah, because then it's like, because first of all, like say they were doing like rental arbitrage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they had to do the hard work of even like getting like that unit or that property in the first place. And they might just be struggling. You could just come through and like
bless.
Really show them how it's done. They could just sit back. Yeah,
exactly.
That's fire.
So it's just hard to get it's hard to get someone to I guess agree. I haven't tried too much because I'm not really focused on it right now, so I can't really talk too much. But the man was talking about like friends and whatever. I don't have friends in college who have properties right now, so I'd have to be brainstorming about it. Maybe go to their parents or something like that. I haven't really thought about it too much. I'm not gonna lie. But what?
I thought you were just gonna leave it at I don't have friends.
Oh no, I was about to say I don't have friends either.
My boy, yo.
Married to the
I'm
money,
sorry,
so.
bro.
Nah, I'm messing.
Golly.
But yeah, so I'm not really too focused on the co-hosting thing. I still have the course. I have to go. I mean, they have weekly meetings, but it's like not very useful. I feel like to go to them all the time when I don't have anything to bring. Even though I do like listening to the other people and their situations.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. I would definitely be attending.
All right, well, never mind. I guess I'm going to be attending from now on. But yeah, but that part is nice, and the people are very nice too. So I'm happy I did it. But moving on to my actual.
Wait. No, sorry.
Please let me move. I hate you so much,
bro. Last thing. The only reason why I'm like, nah, I feel like you should still attend is because sometimes, like in those types of groups, like even the thing I just posted in the IG group chat, you're talking about community and all that, the importance of community. It's like I feel like when you're still like listening to the community, there's just like little gems here and there that are going to be said during certain weekly meetings, and they might not ever get brought up again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like you got to be there for every single one and
That's
just pick
true.
that gem up real quick and run with it.
That's true.
But, yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to say about that.
By the way, I deleted my Instagram, so I haven't seen like anything in that for a while. All right, I just deactivated it so you can be focused on the grind. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to add your photography.
You can add the photography page actually, because that's actually what my cousin did, and I was like, all right, word. I just don't have the app on my phone. Like I even use a photography one on my laptop, just so I can not be because I feel like I'm on it a lot. I'm gonna let you go into one of your updates then, just because I was like, dang, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do it this way, because I feel like I do want to transition into something else. So then never mind, forget that. So my next thing I have is the photography business and how that's kind of grown since the last time I started. I had no intention of doing real estate video. I had no intention of even pursuing photography more than what I had done before in the past, which was like portrait shoots, graduation shoots. I was okay with that, but it was a very side business type thing. Recently, some of my friends in the investment group, the mastermind group we have, they asked me to work on some projects with them relating to photography or videography. And I was like, okay, I'll do it for you. I have no expertise in this field. My camera can do this, but I don't do this. So I did it for like cheap, if not free, basically like $30. I think I charged Eli for one of the first shoots. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how to do it. I was like, you're basically helping me out way, way more than I'm helping you out. So just give me gas money, basically, and I'll just do it.
You gotta know your worth, King.
I did not.
Know your worth, King.
He's increasing my worth.
That's $30, bro.
$30, bro. I did not need anything.
$30 whopping dollars.
I know, and the reason I did that is because he gave me like another person who then paid me like $200 for one of his shoots. So he's basically providing me value as well. Okay. So, and that actually leads up to something else, but I didn't. So I did the first video for him. I liked it actually. I thought I was pretty good with the editing and video. And that leads me to this women's forum that I recorded for one of his friends who saw his video that I made, was like, okay, that's cool. Can you come help me out with whatever? That was a women's forum panel where I met some people there. And one of them was like, yo, we need another cameraman for our real estate video. Is that something you can do? At the time, I was like, no, I cannot. I'm going to be real with you. I can't do that. I know that breaks like one of these rules where you always just say yes to everything first and then figure it out later. But I was like, yo, okay, I'm going to be straight up because this woman looks so legit. I didn't want to give her a false impression, but I told her I'd be willing to work with her if she wanted someone to work with. Because I've done it before. I'm willing to learn, but I can't guarantee you some crazy shots immediately. I don't have the equipment for that. She said she was cool with it. She gave me her business card, and I emailed her like maybe the week after. The week after I finished the video, I was like, here's what the video looked like, and then she did not respond to me. This was in like July, June-ish, sometime around there. I emailed her 2 times. I didn't want to blow up her phone, but I was definitely sad. But my plan, right? Because it's only one person, it doesn't really matter. My plan was to keep working with Eli, working with other people, getting this drone certification license so I can fly my drone commercially, like legally. Not that I'm not flying it legally. I'm very legal. That's a lie. But flying that drone legally, getting my certification for that, so I could approach her again in the future, and approach anyone, honestly, not just her, but these real estate firms and people saying, like, I can do this production. I have my certification. These are the work I've done in the past. Are you interested in working with me for whatever, right? So that's my plan right now going into this stuff. So I purchased a drone. I purchased camera equipment. I purchased new lenses that are better for shooting indoor and shooting wide lenses, because you obviously want like a wide view of everything in a room. So wide angle lenses, extra power supply stuff. Even the new MacBook that I got too is going to be better for editing the videos that I have in 4K, that type of stuff. So I got all this stuff prepared, and I'm still working with Eli too. I'm working with other people, but she actually just reached out to me today asking if I could come for a meeting, because she wants to work with whatever. So like she wants to, and I was like, that's great. So I'm gonna meet with her on Friday. We're gonna kind of go through.
You're talking about the same lady from the women's.
Yep, from the women's run forum. Right? Yeah, and she's someone I really. Oh no, she's someone.
You're gonna say she's bad, and now you're getting nervous, bro.
Whoa. Okay, listen, because I told her we have a podcast. So if I cannot be calling. Anyways, bro, I'm happy to be talking to her. I think she's like very.
I bet you are, bro. I bet you are.
Yo, get out of here.
Nah, she's what?
She's a very dependable person. I think that if I do end up working with her, then something great could happen. That sounds crazy.
Of course, bro. Marriage.
Yeah, imagine that.
You said that's Miss Independent?
Yeah, she's great. She's definitely independent. So I'm looking forward to this meeting in Seekonk. I'm going to try to bring all my gear and material, and hopefully we can work something out there. Obviously, I don't think I could be working with her without this certification. I'm still taking the course to take the exam, which is
bro,
like
just do
exam.
It, man. Who cares about the certification, bro?
That's what I'm saying, but I have to be a legal entity if I'm making contracts and I ever get sued.
No, you do, but I'm saying if you already got the job, bro, I would just be a savage.
I guess, yeah,
and work on my license like along the way.
That's what I want to do.
Because what are the odds? Like, what are the odds that someone's gonna like pull up on?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's the thing. I'm so new to this. I don't know, but I did go to somewhere one. I can always claim that it's like I'm just a hobbyist, because my drone technically is under like the legal limit for like weight class, so I can technically fly it as a hobbyist. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you get money involved, like I just don't know if I want to be a part of that. And she was even telling me about the certification you need to work with it. So I was like, all right, I don't know. So I'm gonna talk to her and see how she's feeling about that. But the money in real estate,
just say that you're accepting a donation, bro. Just say you're accepting a donation.
Like I didn't ask for it; she just put it in my pocket. I don't know what to do. But yeah, so the money there's pretty good.
Wait, why did she have to put it in your pocket instead of like
all right, Venmo me or something like that?
Cash app.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. But yeah,
where your mind is at is like, I don't know, bro.
Get out of here. But yeah, either way though, that's been pretty good. I've been spending a lot of money though on it. A lot of money on video equipment and photography equipment. Yeah, bro. So I mean, I'm kind of all in on this endeavor because it can make you so much money. But yeah, that's where that's going now. Photography and video stuff is like kind of gonna be my bag for a little bit while I'm in college, give me that extra income until I start my job, which is another update. I got a job, which is great for after I graduate school, working with a company. I'm not gonna name drop yet, but I think it's gonna be a good company. I interned with them over the summer. It was great, and starting salary, which I can say, is $72,000, which is great. They give me a $5,000 sign-on bonus. So that's going to be good to start off the career. I'm going to be living at home. Thank God. I got a job that's local. So I'm living at home for a little. I'm going to save up a bunch of money and start doing house hacking. Hopefully I can even just convert the units into Airbnb spaces. instead, so I don't have to. But then again, like, it just depends on how the location, if I can even do something like that. So
that would be way better.
That would be so much better. It would, and
the
it would
Airbnb
just,
house hack, bro.
It would work right into the photography stuff I'm doing, the real estate videos. It'd be fantastic. So if I could figure out how to do that, that'd be great. But that's good because now I'm not stressed out during school. I just got to pass my classes and just get out of here, bro. I don't want to be here anymore. But yeah, so that stuff's going pretty well. And the books I've been reading, I finished How to Win Friends and Influence People. Great book. And I'm reading The 48 Laws of Power. And then I'm also reading the book that you had. I didn't download it yet, but I'm going to download it. It's about thinking a couple steps ahead. I think it's just important when you make any decision to know how to think.
Oh, your next 5 moves.
Yep, how to think more logically, basically, about what you're gonna do next.
Which is hilarious because I just read a book today, and like one of the major takeaways was, like maybe you should only think only one step ahead.
Well, that's what the takeaway was.
One of the takeaways from the book I just finished.
You should only think one step ahead.
Yeah.
As opposed to that sounds like a bad book then.
Okay, if you say so.
I don't know, bro. I mean, you gave me a book that says 5 steps ahead, and you're only thinking one. I feel like that's not the best. Okay, all right. I guess I got to read what's the book?
Think Again.
All right, maybe you need to think again about reading them.
yo, this man thinks he got jokes. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, besides that, though, school started. Trash. Rental arbitrage books and the meeting. No, what's going on? Oh, I'm getting a call. Yeah, so I got to decline.
Oh, nah. All right, you said I can rap?
Yeah, so now your time to shine.
All right, bro. So I guess we'll start off with the house hack situation because that's probably what people care about the most.
Is there?
Yeah. So essentially, I'm still going through the process of the eviction. In case y'all didn't know, yes, I'm going through an eviction. I closed on the property in June. It is now October. Man's is still going through. So we had to go through giving the 30-day notice saying that we're terminating the lease because they're on a month-to-month lease. Well, not terminating, really. I mean, I guess kind of. But we're not renewing it for the next month. So you got to send a 30-day notice for that, which we did. She obviously did not leave. Then we had to send a 20-day notice, which is basically saying, yo, like, you've already breached the terms of the lease. So if you don't leave after 20 days, then, what is it? Then, like, you're going to be evicted, basically. So, yeah, I mean, she still didn't leave, but the even more annoying part was I had thought that it was already delivered, like, as soon as I talked to my property manager about it. And it was not because she would never answer the door, apparently. So it didn't get delivered. So 20 days later, I emailed the property management company and I was like, yo, so it's been 20 days. Like, what's the move? Because she's still here. And they're like, yeah, so we actually didn't get to deliver it. So now we have to get, they call it like alternative service. So I think it's like basically the judge saying that, or granting permission to just tack the 20-day notice to the door instead of actually hand delivering it. So yeah, it took a while to get that, like the permission from the judge to do that. And then we got it. Finally delivered the 20-day notice. Obviously, again, she did not move out. So then we had to get a court date. So basically, I think typically this would kind of be like the final steps of the process, like the property management company going on my behalf to the court, like with her, and essentially like arguing each side. And since we did everything correctly, I would assume that like it would just be kind of cut and dry, like just done. But that was supposed to be yesterday, so I'm gonna read the email that that I received yesterday evening. So it says, Noah wanted to share the results of the court hearing today. When I arrived at the courthouse, her name, this lady, told the attorney that she was pregnant and due any day and needed until December 1st to move, which is hilarious because like I'd definitely be seeing her outside smoking cigarettes. So,
Yo.
So I don't know if I believe that, and if And if that is the case, then she is a true savage, bro. She is a true savage. But it says, the attorney did not feel we would have a favorable ruling if we went to trial based on how judges have been tenant-friendly lately. Which I don't really understand that, though, because we did everything like according to code. And then we still even have an email from her saying that, like, the only reason that she's not paying is because, what's it called? Is because she had beef, like, with the old landlord. So she's already admitting that it's like, it's not like a COVID related issue or like anything like that. Like, she's just salty about something that has nothing to do with me. So I don't understand why the judge would be like that, but I'm assuming that the attorney would know more than me. But yeah, so it says we entered the stipulation that possession is granted to us. I think it's supposed to say. I think there was a typo there. But it says we cannot file for an execution as long as she vacates by December 1st.
No way. No way, bro.
December 1st, bro. It is October 19th.
That is crazy, man. That's the day before my birthday. Damn.
So keep in mind, guys, I've had this mortgage payment this whole time. Closed in June. Well, actually, that's not true because, like, you don't have to pay. Like, I closed the middle of June. I didn't have to pay on July 1st, but I had to pay August 1st. So it's only been a couple months, but still, it's kind of like almost defeating the purpose of house hacking for like a limited time being. But I will say, not that much though, because I'm essentially coming out of pocket. I think like $1,100 a month, and $600 of that is going to principal on the loan. So I'm really only paying, what is that, $500?
Mm-hmm.
That's just hitting the principal, if I'm doing the math right. But yeah, so then I responded to the email and said, hi, like, are you able to advise what the preceding steps and what the estimated time frame would be if she does not vacate by December 1st? And then he said, if she does not vacate by December 1st, we would file a motion for the issuance of an execution order. Why do they use the word execution? Like, bro, you're not about to. That's what I was saying, bro. Like, the way y'all are saying it, I don't know. There's just something about it. Like, no wonder the judge doesn't want to grant that, bro. That sounds crazy. It said that would be about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the court schedule. We would go to the motion, and barring some sympathetic judge, we would be granted the execution that we could then serve about a week after. So that sounds like, what, like 4 weeks? Because he said that would be about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the court schedule. And then we would go to the motion, blah, 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 and be granted the execution that we could then serve about a week after. So that sounds like 3 to 4 weeks total already, like after December 1st. And then it says she would be given a 48-hour notice that we would be showing up with a moving truck if she is not out after those 48 hours. So they would get like a moving truck, and I think they also get like a sheriff or a cop or something like that to escort her out. She starts causing a ruckus, as they say. Yeah. And then like the other owner of that property management company said, if she is not out on the 1st, we will need an execution immediately. No, sorry, we will need to order an execution immediately as there is a 2-week window the court shuts down for the holiday. So,
yo, what?
So that could extend it even longer, bro. Even longer. And people were telling me before, and they thought I was like making good progress, because they were like, oh, like don't let it go like around holiday time, because then like the judge would be like, nah, bro, it's the holidays. Like, I'm not about to let you guys execute this lady
on the holiday. Yeah,
on the holiday, bro. Are you serious? How's her family gonna feel?
She over her presence,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Facts. So, yeah. So I was thinking, all right, bet October 18th, which was yesterday, and people were like, yeah, it should only take like a week or something like after that for her to leave. So I was like, word, I'm well before holiday time period. Like, it would be, what is next week? The 25th.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm like, word, say less. I'm gonna get this unit renovated ASAP, bro. Like, potentially have it live maybe middle of November, around there. Get a new tenant in, start getting my money right again.
Yeah.
But no, sir.
No, yeah.
Of course it's not gonna work that. Of course it's not gonna work like that, because every step in this process it's not going according to plan whatsoever. But good news though. today, which I told you earlier.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm sure most of y'all heard about that, like mortgage forbearance for like people that own houses and they're having some sort of like COVID related reason as to why they can't like make their payment. So yeah, so I called the mortgage company today and was like, yeah, so one of my tenants is having trouble paying. I'm gonna assume it's due to COVID.
Yep, of course.
You know what I mean? Yep. So they granted me 6 months of forbearance, so I don't actually have to pay my mortgage. Let's go. Let's go. I don't have to pay my mortgage until May, I believe they said. And they said they do it in like 6-month increments. So I'm assuming like if something was still going on, I could just have them extended again.
Yeah.
Just keep doing that. Which I wish that I did that at the beginning, but it was like so frustrating because I kept thinking I was so close to the end. Like I'm like, all right, where the 30-day notice? And then like the 30 days came, she's still here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the 20-day notice. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm constantly thinking each month that like,
it'll be
all
okay.
right, it's almost over. Yeah. So like, why would I even like call this forbearance thing? I don't even know exactly how it works or whatever. But yeah, so I did it. So now I also got to figure out what I'm going to be doing with this rent check that I'm getting from the third.
But hold up.
Because I have.
But why is forbearance so good in your specific situation?
Because I'm not getting paid.
No.
I'm not getting paid to live for free.
I mean, like, why is it so good in terms of like, why is it just so good in your specific or anyone who's doing a house hack right now?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
No,
I don't know if you're trying to say it another way, but what I'm saying is, like, the whole purpose of me house hacking was to live for free.
Yeah.
Right now, I have not been living for free. I've been coming out of pocket like I'm a regular ass citizen, making a rent payment. Granted, it's to myself, and most of it's going to principal. But still, it's like this is just not the move. Like this is not how I move personally. No disrespect to y'all. You know what I mean? I'll take what I said back about the regular citizen.
Wow. Okay. No, what I was really trying to say was like because like when you apply for forbearance, you're still technically paying off what you're gonna pay off at some point in the future, but you won't be the one paying it off at that some point in the future. You know what I'm saying? Because that's 30 years down the line.
So it depends. It depends.
Okay.
So assuming I didn't buy another property, right? Like I think essentially like the mortgage payments are tacked on like to the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
that's
I mean?
That's what I was.
So I would eventually be having to make these payments, but it's way later down the line. But like you're saying, like essentially like the tenants that I'm renting to are the ones actually paying the mortgage, at least like the overwhelming majority of the time. But I do believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that if you go to buy another house, which I might do in the near future, you would actually have to like be caught up on those payments. So I would end up having to pay it.
Wow. Okay. That's terrible. I'm sorry. Did not know it was like that. So that's like 6 months of rent straight up. Like they just need it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like if you were to buy a property in, like you have 6 months of forbearance. If you were to buy a property, let's say next month, would you have to just be caught up on payments from just the last month? Like what do you do if you buy a property and you still have forbearance on one, but you're only 1 month into like the forbearance period?
They wouldn't let me buy it until I'm out of
forbearance completely.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, there are some workarounds because you could just partner with someone that's not
in forbearance
or whatever. Yeah, and not put yourself on the loan, but maybe you put yourself still on the deed of the property and all that. So that like there's still workarounds. But I was just thinking about that actually because like I might partner on like doing the BRRRR strategy with someone, and I'm like both of us actually still like we utilize that $10,000 down payment assistance. So if we buy another property, well, not just buying because we be buying it with hard money, which I'll explain after. But when we go to refinance it, like out of the hard money to get a conventional loan, we would then have to pay back that $10,000 because we're buying another property. So as of right now, I'd have to pay back that $10,000 from the down payment assistance.
Wait.
And get caught up on the mortgage forbearance payments.
So down payment assistance program, you have to pay back that $10,000?
Yeah, at some point in time, you have to pay it back. So how it would work if you're not going to buy like another property, like you're just going to stay in that same property, like at the end of the 30 years for the mortgage, you would pay back the $10,000.
I did not know. Okay. So
or if you go to maybe if you refinance as well, you might have to pay it. And then if you buy another property, like if you buy another house, you would have to pay.
But when you refinance, if the price of the property is higher, that just gets deducted? Is that how that works?
Yeah. So if you had enough equity, then they would just
take it off,
take it from the equity. Yeah.
So
like you would still technically be paying.
Yeah. But
you just wouldn't be like coming out of your bank account. Yeah.
So, okay. So if you were to buy a property for the burst strategy and you get a hard money lender, you can get that whatever, and you pay that 20%. Oh, you pay the entire thing.
So let's talk about the hard money lender thing real quick, because I don't think we explained it here before. But it's almost like getting like private lending, you know what I mean? So it's like a non-traditional lending institution. But they do this like as a business. So technically when real estate investors say private money, they're typically talking about someone who might just like have mad bread and they're just lending out their own money or whatever. But hard money lenders, like they really do this like for a living, basically. Like they have a whole business set up like already. And essentially you can sometimes get in with like more favorable terms, because sometimes it's like a traditional bank will not be willing to lend on certain properties because it's too like distressed, like it needs too much work. So you can use hard money. Like a lot of flippers will use hard money to buy really distressed properties, flip it, and then sell. And it doesn't affect your credit or anything like that because it's not actually like connected to any of that. And recently they've been having like different types of terms. Like actually, I know one lender who, even for conventional financing, they do no income verification loans, which I wish I knew about that last year. But
wait, even for
like,
what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
No income verification.
You said even for something though they do for conventional loans.
Conventional, okay. Yeah, like for conventional mortgages and all that. So I'm like, bro, I wish I knew that, because I could have gotten way lower, bro. Like the prices in 2020 were different, especially where I'm at right now. Like I still got a really good deal on my property, but I was seeing properties in this area for like 3 families, triplexes going under 300,000. I paid 360 for this. Insane. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think, from my understanding right now, it sounds like they want you to have a very solid amount in reserve. So what I've heard is 12 months of mortgage payments, like set aside in the bank. So if your mortgage is like $2,000, then like a year's worth of that mortgage would be 24,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have 24,000 already in reserves beforehand, which I've been had, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like I could have just bought a property, bro. Yeah. I'm tight. Yeah. But whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, so that's actually really something to think about, though, in terms of having to pay back the forbearance and the $10,000 down payment assistance. Because I was not like running those numbers in any of my analysis. I wasn't even thinking about it. Yeah.
Well, I guess now you know.
Yeah.
But then back to that thing you were talking about with the forbearance. So like you were saying, if you did want if you did take out a hard money loan to get another property for the burst strategy, which I think you've talked about too, right? By the way.
Yeah, so buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. They probably don't. Well, some people probably don't remember, or it's their first time listening to it. But you're essentially like combining flipping and renting out a traditional property like at the same time. So you're probably going to buy a distressed property, fix it up, rent it out, and then you refinance into a conventional mortgage, or you potentially even do like a cash out refinance and get like some money out of the deal or whatever. And then keep it as a rental.
Yeah, so the part that I'm like, I just want to understand, if you were next month to try to get a property, would you have to pay off the 6 months of mortgage payments
No.
Or you just can't do it?
It's only the ones that I missed. The only ones. So if I missed one mortgage payment, now I have to make that up when I go to buy another property. It's not going to be 6 months.
Okay. And then every single month, though, you have to make up that payment, though, right? Because didn't you say you can't even do that? Okay. So you'd basically be out of forbearance. Like they just like take you out, right? Because that's what it seems like. Oh, okay, like, okay.
Because you're saying that you're struggling. Like, you cannot make your payment.
That makes sense.
So if you're buying a whole other house,
like, you're not struggling, bro. Yeah.
Where is my bread? Run me my money.
Okay. That makes sense to me. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Like that would be way too savage.
Yeah.
If they would just be doing bad business if they didn't do that.
Yeah, that wouldn't make a lot of sense logically on their part. Okay, that makes sense. But either way, you're gonna have to pay the $10,000 off regardless for that down payment assistance.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you just factor that in when you're doing the calculations of the property. And
well, technically, I factored it in when I was running the analysis for this property. Even though I didn't come out of pocket the $10,000, I ran the analysis as if I did, because at some point in time,
you will
it's
be
going to happen.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense.
Factoring it in more so in terms of like, I might be like, all right, I'm ready to take on this next deal, and I'm ready to use like this certain amount of money for it. But now I have to factor in another $10,000 on top of like what I already had set aside for like a down payment on another property, and whatever reserves I want to have in place beforehand. So that actually is a significant difference. Plus the forbearance stuff on top of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that really is. It's crazy. Okay, that makes sense though to me. All right. Next topic.
Okay. I mean, that was the major thing, I guess. I guess what I'll also talk about though is stuff that we're gonna be talking about like later on. We could say that this is season 2, right?
Yes. Every 10 episodes will be a season. How about that?
Word. All right. So season 2. So that the way I want to do it though is like every season we gotta start off with like some new lessons, like how we started the first season off. Like, all right, this is what like not teaching y'all, but like this is the stuff that I'm kind of showing y'all right now from what I've been learning during this time period. So what I'll talk to y'all about is like I took this master class on trading options. So I'll teach you guys some of like, or show you guys some of the trading strategies that I'm using, like some of the indicators I use and like how I find entry points and all that. And then also I've been getting way heavier into crypto too. So we could talk about crypto fundamentals. And then I guess some of the trading stuff actually will kind of apply to crypto, because for crypto, for the like in terms of like getting an entry, I definitely use more technical analysis, which is like chart reading and stuff like that, versus fundamentals. And then also I did get a ledger, so y'all can see. So this is a cold wallet for real estate. I'll show you on the laptop if you can see it. So this is essentially like the safest place to store your crypto. So it wouldn't be like saved to just like Gemini or Coinbase or anything like that. And something that they say in the crypto community is like, essentially, if you don't, not your keys, not your crypto. So if you don't have like a cold wallet, which is essentially kind of like having your key or like your seed phrase, which I store in here, I forgot what it's called, but essentially it's supposed to be like indestructible, like fireproof and all that stuff. Jeez. Where I have, the seed phrase, which is essentially the key for the wallet. But yeah, that's how you actually like truly own your crypto, and you're able to like really transact with it and use some of the stuff that like people actually do with like the blockchain and these different like crypto projects. Like how do you actually transact like on these things versus just like holding the coins by themselves. But we'll talk about like different things that you can do within like the crypto space and all that. Which Joel actually hates crypto, so
that's funny because I was thinking about how much I hate it when I'm messing. I don't hate cryptocurrency. I don't hate it, but in our group chat, I personally feel like crypto is distracting people from anything else. I feel like it's just like a
give an example of that though. Like how is it distracting someone from their main goal?
I don't know.
Like, do you think it's really distracting, or is it just preoccupying a lot?
Preoccupying. That's really what I'm. But then preoccupying is distracting, right? So I feel like, and I don't know if the people in our group 100% personally, I'm not going to even name drop, but I think people in the group sometimes talk about. I feel like it's a GameStop thing, bro. I feel like it's the GameStop, like, yo, this currency, yo. I just feel like the whole field in itself is so new that everyone every week has a different currency they're looking at and trying to get into and trying to do something with. And I always feel like, all right, it's just like a cycle at this point. Like we see people getting rich off Shiba Inu, whatever. We see people getting rich off like, I don't even know, Cardano, whatever, right? But then I'm like, you're not getting rich though yourself. And but see, that's the thing. Like they're not getting millions of dollars richer. They're getting they're still making money doing whatever they're doing. But at the same time, I feel like it's something where like, I don't know. You could be doing something else. Like you could be doing something else. I don't know if that they're like specializing or taking like. I know someone in the group is like taking classes or having someone like show them what's good with it, which is I guess a little different because they're trying to make it their main bag. But for the other people trailing along, I just feel like focusing on your bag and like letting or going to that person for advice would be better, I guess. I don't know if that really makes a lot of sense.
I think I understand what you're saying, but I mean, to address the first part though, at least in our group, I don't see it as every week someone's coming through with a new crypto project that they're looking to invest in.
Okay.
Like for me, it like we really only talk about the same few coins. So we're talking about, for the most part, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, which is the top three anyways in terms of market cap. And then someone brings up Luna.
Yep.
And then I'll say Jason because y'all know Jason, but he talks about XRP a lot too. So 5 coins that we really talk about. But I will say one of the members in the group, he is into like NFTs a lot. But I don't think he comes through and talks about like a different NFT every single week. He just talks about like he's been buying a lot of NFTs and how it's working out for him, which is working out really well at the moment. But I don't know. I don't really think it's like I feel like I see what you're saying a little bit because someone else in the group had said something similar. They're like, "Oh, I feel like we talk about crypto too much," but I feel like that's what a lot of people should be talking about. Yeah, I feel you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, and not even in terms of because people like you're saying like, "Oh, it's not like they're getting like millions of dollars of this, or from this right now." But to me, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not trying to get millions of dollars from it right now. Like to me, it's a long-term investment still. Like, and because the space is so new, like things that people are saying is like, how often do you get to invest in like a new asset class?
That's very true.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people should still go through like the fundamentals in terms of like set up like your long-term stuff when it comes to like index funds, ETFs, stuff like that. But I do think that probably a lot of people, I'm not gonna say everyone, but a lot of people should have some exposure to crypto as well.
Yeah. So,
in my personal opinion,
I feel like I feel like just when you are so focused on it, you're not focused on getting the money to put it into it. That's really what I'm thinking. I'm thinking more like get the bread. Like let someone do the research on this class right now. It's still like you said, like relatively early in the game, but I don't think that 2 years or 3 years down the line will change it in terms of like how new it is. I don't think you'll miss out on the greatest run of NFTs or the Coinbase if you wait 2 years. But I think in 2 years, like that amount of growth you can have with a personal business will be like significant to the point where you're making enough money where you can just, all right, I don't care. I don't know enough about this to even do research, but you do. I'll just pay you and give you the money to just work for it. And I'll focus on my business. That's more like the mindset I have when I think that. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to go into. I'm just thinking like, I don't know. The opportunity cost is the thing that I feel like people are missing out on. Maybe that, but I haven't even done too much like reading of the group chat. I just keep seeing it and I'm just like, all right. And it's not even just a group chat. It's more like everywhere. I feel like I see it everywhere. And that's really why. But I just don't want it to be like the next get rich quick type thing and people aren't even getting rich.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. In the sense that like I'm of that same mindset of like you should be focusing on
bread,
like generating more revenue, so that you can actually invest into these types of things. But I would say for me personally, like because someone else was like, oh, like maybe we should stop talking about crypto right now. But I was in the space where I had a lump sum, bro. And I was like, no, I want to talk about this right now because I'm about to like throw these bands into it. You know what I mean? Like I want to know like how different people are thinking. Yeah. I was throwing lump sum. So I don't remember exactly where I was at before. Yeah. I don't remember exactly where I was at before, but I think I only had like $3,000 like in crypto or whatever. And then right now I have like
30K?
23, 24,000. Okay. No, not 30.
Okay.
But I was going to say with this rent payment that I'm still going to be getting from the 3rd floor, I'm wondering where I should move there. I'm low key considering crypto, but
that's exactly where you should be though. Like you're getting income and it's going right in. That's exactly what, like in my head. I'm like, okay, that is exactly what you should be doing. I can see why you'd be preoccupied with it because that is exactly what I would try to do if I was you. That's a great problem to have. Like, all right, I got money. Where do I put it?
Okay. And also the reason why I've been looking into it so much too is because I've been thinking about different ways to like pull from my assets without selling. So like because I use, for example, M1 Finance for my stocks, it's like I can lend against my portfolio there. Like with the house, you can get out like a home equity loan or a home equity line of credit. So you can pull your equity out. You don't have to sell. You're not going to pay taxes, and you still have that money to deploy. And then with crypto, like kind of like a sector in crypto is DeFi, which stands for decentralized finance. But they have ways where you can like deposit your crypto into essentially like crypto banks in a way, and take loans against your portfolio. So that's also why that's also something that really interests me about that space. Um, but yeah, the whole like NFT thing and all that, I don't really know. Like it's cool. Personally, I don't get it. Like I don't really value like these JPEGs and stuff like that. No disrespect.
These gifts. Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm a right click saver, as they say in the crypto community, but I just personally don't care. But as of right now, but I do understand how it could be important in the future, and we'll kind of talk about this stuff when we go through like a crypto episode, I guess. But like for example, how it could fit into like the metaverse and things like that. That interests me a lot because I feel like that's where the future is going. Like living more so in like a virtual world type of space, like Ready Player One ish, although it doesn't have to be exactly that, and there'll probably be multiple like different metaverses in a way, just like how we have like multiple social media platforms and stuff like that. But yeah, I do think that NFTs eventually will be something that interests me, but as of right now, like where the tech is, looks promising. Looks like it has potential, but I personally don't care.
That's how I feel, basically. I just think, I don't know, maybe it needs to settle down a little bit, but then again, you can miss out on, I don't even care about missing out, to be honest. Like I said, I'm trying to focus on this next, like, how am I going to make real estate videos the best I can make them so I can keep making money in the future while I'm in college. And then I can get
Word. Do you want to talk about, actually, in 1 second, we'll talk about, like, what our
goals are?
You want to do, like, a new, were we already doing that, though? Actually,
no, I don't even think so. I don't think so. Goals for the next week and then updates. Yeah, I think we were doing something like that. But is that the same thing you're thinking?
Yeah, like what is the goal for the next week?
Okay,
you know what I mean, like what is it's like the like if you guys have ever read The One Thing, which if you haven't read it, you should definitely read it. I probably already mentioned it before. But yeah, so you want to think about like what is the one most important thing that I could do in order to like get to that next level or that next stage in my life. Because people talk about like the 80-20 principle, like 20% of what you do gives you 80% of the results, and 80% of what you do only gives you 20%. So you want to focus on like that 20% that's going to give you the 80%. So yeah, I like to live my life by that. I typically do it on like kind of a quarterly basis, like what do I want to accomplish like this quarter, like what is the one most important thing, and then I break it down to like each week, like on Sunday or Monday morning or whatever. I'm like, what do I need to do by the end of this week in order to get one step closer? And then from that point, typically I'll go to like a daily perspective. But for me personally, I already accomplished my weekly goal, which is pretty cool. I thought it was going to take me longer. But yeah, so now I'm kind of like chilling, not really forcing it the rest of the week. But to talk about what I'm actually going to be doing the rest of this week, this isn't a part of my one thing, but I'm going to be going to a real estate summit / conference type of thing. So that's going to be in Orlando, and I'm going from, what is it, the 21st?
Thursday to Monday.
To the 25th. Yep. So yeah, hopefully there's some like great networking opportunities and I learned some stuff. But we'll see. But in terms of the one thing, yeah, I need to know next week. I need to know, am I in the position to just start like taking advantage of the BRRRR strategy right now, or do I need to stick to like my original plan in terms of trying to generate more revenue first by I was already looking at different business ventures and they didn't really work out. Okay. So now I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, maybe I should just get another job or whatever. So like learn some type of skill, like do some sort of like certification online, and then try to get another job and just dump all that money into investments and start utilizing the BRRRR strategy at that point. And the reason why I was thinking about doing that first is because I feel like it would just be safer. And that's kind of like the one thing that I'm really missing in my financial picture. It's like I have assets, like I have a certain mindset or whatever, but I don't really have like the revenue coming in terms of my active income. Like my investments kind of do numbers sometimes, but you never know. Like we could have like a correction or whatever, and that can take me down like tens of thousands of dollars. So if I'm buying a property, for example, like with hard money, like there are holding costs. So it's like it's not a mortgage per se, but it's kind of like a mortgage. But I would still have to pay that the whole time that I'm going through this renovation process, which can take months, sometimes even like potentially a year or more or whatever. So if I don't really have revenue coming in, like yes, I have reserves, but if I just start depleting my reserves, since I don't have a strong revenue, it could take me a significant amount of time in order to build it back up. And I don't want to even go through that process. I want to know that I don't even have to really dip into my reserves. Like if this property is taking longer to renovate than I expected, like cool, like this is just annoying, but I have the bread coming in that I'm gonna be Gucci. So I'm gonna be having a coaching call with my property manager, who I forgot to mention. He has multiple businesses, but with his flipping business, he was saying that he averages 50 to 70 grand per flip, and he said him and his partner did like 20 flips last year. So I'll let y'all do the math. But he's moving big money, and he obviously manages a lot of units. He has his own rental portfolio, and then has other investments. So I want to get coaching from him. Like I'm gonna show him my entire financial picture on my portfolios, and have him kind of like pick out different like inefficiencies. Like, oh, you could be doing this better, or maybe you should have a better allocation when it comes to this. And then even like some of the stuff I'm trading, like he might be like, oh well, like what's the inverse? Like what is your bearish thesis? What is your bullish thesis? Like kind of test me on certain things like that. So go through that, but then also just see, am I in the position to just go directly for the bird strategy right now, or do I need to chill out and go with my original plan? So, yeah.
Okay, so then on my front, then I feel like with school, it's just I never know when to do what, and I'm trying to do a lot of things at once, but I don't have it really written out in a format that helps me see what the next move is. It's more of like things I need to get done next week, but next week isn't necessarily like defined as like by the 22nd. It's just constantly next week in my head. I have to do it. So um, I've been pretty scatterbrained in like that aspect. So next week I want to have a defined plan of when I want to get this course done for the certification to fly a drone around. I want to get a better like map out of the times and the dates I have things scheduled for video, because I do have some video shoots coming up, but they're not really like out in a way I can understand what's going on, and even like invoices and stuff like that too. I don't really have like a set Excel sheet or something that says like I did this on this day, this on this day, this on this day. I'm not really operating as a business, so I want to have that stuff structured by next week. Um, and that's really, yeah. I mean, I don't really care about school. I'm not going to set school goals. It's just go to class and do work. Honestly, this is not very important at all, bro. I don't think anything in school is helping me for the real world. But this stuff definitely is very important. Definitely want to go to that coaching call too. But I think if I can structure my time for my week better, I use Google Calendar a lot. But if I can structure like everything out a lot better in terms of when I have what due, I'll feel a lot less stressed. Because like you say, like when you finish your goal, and a few weeks ago I was like doing it like that. When you finish your goal, you just feel so much less stressed. You know exactly what you got to do when you wake up, and that's great. That's such a good feeling. I had like a cold or flu or something. It wasn't COVID, and it knocked me out for like 4 days.
I hope it wasn't, bro.
Nah, when I got tested, I got like bro, I was just not feeling it. Like I was just out of it. I could not do anything. That's like the worst feeling, bro, because you get up out of it. Like I'm out of it now, and I'm still not gonna go to the gym today. I feel trash, but I've been going to the gym like for like a month straight before that, so it just knocks you out. Just still feel so tired. I don't know if you can even hear it, but my voice is even messed up still.
I can hear it a little bit.
Yeah, it's just,
I got something to say about this topic after this.
It's tough when you get knocked out of it, but I feel like after this type of stuff, I usually am out of it for a little bit, so I'm trying to bounce back as quickly as possible, especially if I'm going to be working with someone like the person I'm going to meet with for these real estate videos. I got to be on top of it every step of the way. So that's really, that's what I'm going to have for next week. I think what we didn't do, Noah, is like revisit the topics in the next episode. So like revisit like how did I do on that last topic? I don't think we did that previously. I think we talked about our goals, but I don't think we ever like reassessed them the next week.
So are you saying like we announced what our goals are going to be, but on the next podcast
we don't talk about them.
Addressing?
Yeah. And I think that's the part that I think we just went into our update or talked about like whatever learning thing we're trying to do, and then talked about our updates for the next week. But I don't think we like fully addressed exactly that part.
Like that wouldn't have been within our update.
It would have been, but like, I don't think it was like directly. It would have been, but I don't think it was directly. Like we
definitely wasn't directly.
Yeah, no. I think that's the part we should try to do. Moving on.
That makes sense.
So I just wrote down what I have to do, and that way, like next week, I can actually go right back to this thing and talk about it.
Okay. So yeah, the thing that I was gonna say was typically I'm pretty on top of like, all right, this is like my goal for the week, this is my goal for the day type of thing. But I didn't do it for like 2 wees, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. I felt like I was going. Yeah. I was so behind, bro.
That's how I feel right now. Bro. That's how I feel.
It's crazy. Yeah. Because it's like you don't really see it on like a day-to-day basis. This goes back to like the compound effect. If y'all haven't read that book, pick it up. But yeah, like just the compound effect of your actions, because it's like you don't know. It's like taking this like one little step every single day gets you so much further when you like look at the long-term kind of trajectory. So I was over here just like I'm still like being active, like doing certain things, but it was more so like random. You know what I mean? Like I'm just randomly throughout the day, like, oh well, maybe I should prioritize this, and then it's like, why? Why? Like, is that the one thing that I really need to do right now in order to get me ahead, or is this just a thing where I'm being productive per se, but it's not with just like that intention in mind of like a clear direction? Because for me, I don't like to have like an extremely concrete goal per se. I'm more so like I want to go in this direction. But yeah, like I just was not doing that for whatever reason. I was just being hella lazy and just being hella depressed. But now I'm back in my bag, yo. So, and I was gonna ask you, because you said the thing about you're not really prioritizing school, but I had a conversation with someone, and he was like, and I've heard this phrase a lot, so it's not like it was an original phrase or anything, but he said, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yep, I heard that.
And me personally, I disagree with that, because like when it comes to my job, I'm like, I don't care, bro. Like it's not like I'm focusing on the one thing, like literally. So I'm like, this job is not the one thing that I need to be focusing on in order like for me to meet my goal for the year. Like my goal for the year was to have $200,000 in assets, like so between cash, investments, and then equity in like any properties that I own. I want to have 200,000 by the end of the year, and me putting strong effort into my job is actually kind of like distracting me and depleting me almost, because this job is not gonna, there's nothing about this job that's actually gonna help me get to that goal faster.
Yeah.
So I'm more focused on like literally like I'm big on, because of my personality type, I'm big on like not wasting energy. So I actually conserve a lot of energy. Like I just sit there. I'm not really focused on anything or doing anything until I'm like, all right, bro, this is the one thing I need to do. So I'm going to go up when it comes to this, and everything else I'm giving like very minimal effort to. So that's just my perspective on that. But I want to hear your thoughts. Sorry, real quick. My bad. Not completely minimal effort, but it's not necessarily my greatest effort. Like I'm applying my greatest effort very, very intentionally, and everything else is kind of getting whatever's left over. But go ahead.
I definitely heard that too, and I've honestly, I don't know if I agree or disagree on it still, because even in like when I hear you say that, I don't like, I'm wondering like if you say to yourself, I'm going to put in this amount of effort, that takes, I feel like, a lot of control to be like, all right, I'm gonna just do like this and pass whatever. This is not my main goal. I feel like the phrase isn't, I don't know, because I do agree on it in some parts. Like when I'm doing my schoolwork, right, if I'm doing my homework assignment, I'm like, yo, I'm not going to look into this too much. I'm just going to do whatever and get it done. I know that even if I want to apply myself with something else, I'll still have that, like, maybe it'd be easier if I just breeze through it, don't really understand the concept so I can get it done type thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm going to try to use an example. Like, obviously, I'm going to use an example without, like, like
Well, let
outing
me ask you this,
myself.
because this might lead into your example. Are you saying that like if you take that certain attitude towards like school or whatever, that you might keep that same energy when you're focusing on something that you actually
Yes,
should be?
yes. Because
Okay.
just not because you don't want to do it, not because you don't want to spend the
Mm-hmm.
energy to do it, but just because you're used to operating that way. Like your brain is used to it, and it's something that I've like tried to. Like once when I heard that before, I was like, yeah, that's true. Because I feel like when I was in school, I used to apply myself very heavily, like trying to do blah 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 blah. I never like was doing anything in my personal life to be able to see if like I would change the way I do things because I like something more. But I feel like
Mm-hmm.
nowadays it's more like, all right, let me just breeze through this. And I noticed that when I'm trying to do my own personal thing, it's hard for me to focus on understanding like a topic. Like let's say I'm trying to do a video shoot and I need to do some type of like composition shot that takes a while to think about. In my head, it's like this is going to be such a boring task. Like I don't want to do this at all. It's going to be harder for me to apply myself and get it done, and leads to me like procrastinating the work just because I don't want to do it. And I'm not saying that's like because I don't care about my work, but if I was used to getting the work done and like, all right, I'm going to set this time aside, do the work. I don't care about the work, but I will do it to the best of my ability. My brain would be
Mm-hmm.
used to just doing like a task that's boring to the best of my ability. Does that make
That makes
sense?
sense. But I feel like I think it's also just like different people work in different
That's
ways.
yeah,
So I
exactly.
feel
That's
like
what, yeah.
like for some people like that is probably 100% true, and then for other people it isn't. But for me, just to speak on that a little bit, like sometimes I'll kind of feel that way in the sense of like when it's something that's actually like important, I might just feel like, all right, let me kind of just like breeze through it in a way, but I won't like procrastinate or anything.
Mm,
I'm just like, bro, like I don't fully understand this, or like my heart doesn't feel in it, but I'm still just gonna do it anyways.
yeah.
And for me, doing that, like typically, it still ends up like working out. Like I might be like if I'm, for example, like doing research on like the option trades I'm about to do, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm doing the fundamental analysis, because that's gonna take more time, right? I might be like, bro, I honestly do not feel like reading an article
Mm-hmm.
today on this company.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds hella boring, but I'm just going to do it anyways. So it's like every day, even though I might be like not potentially not giving it like 100% my best effort, I'm still like learning and developing the habit and like strengthening my willpower to keep it going.
Mm-hmm. But
You
isn't
know what I
yeah? But that
mean?
would then you would be doing it like the right way, I guess. Instead of skimming over the article, you're still gonna read it all. You don't like it, but you're still doing it in a way that if you like applied it to like anything you want to do, you would do it that same exact way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. This might be getting like into a
Like a
too
whole different
nuanced
topic.
situation.
Oh, okay,
But
never mind.
yeah, but I'll say specifically like when it comes to like work, for example, a lot of times I'm like, what, like literally like what are my daily tasks or whatever? What is my weekly task? Like I'm just gonna do that, and I'm not trying to do any of this other stuff that they're talking about. Like they
Yeah.
might be like, they kind of want you to like innovate in a way. Like, oh, like figure out like, oh, we've been doing this way for so long. Like, what is a new and improved way to do this? And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm just not doing that for you because you're not gonna compensate me in
Yeah.
the way I would like to be compensated for it. Um, so I guess like in some ways it is kind of like the same energy in terms of like sometimes I might be like, oh, I'm gonna read multiple articles in one day, and then other times I'm just like, I'm literally only going to read one, and that's it, bro. I'm
Okay,
not
I get
doing
what you're
anything
saying.
extra.
Yeah,
Like I don't care,
I get what you're
but I'm
saying.
still
Yeah.
doing it though,
Yeah.
where it matters. So I feel like still just doing it is very important.
Yeah.
But when you start procrastinating too much or just not doing it at all,
That's what's the problem.
then that's different.
I do feel like the phrase does apply to like when it matters like that. I feel like when anything else, but yeah, I don't know. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. But yeah, all right, we're at
Mm-hmm.
an hour and 3 minutes. We got to cut this thing off.
Yep.
So we got to do these Wealth Wednesdays on the live. I'm not gonna ask a question here because there's no point. But thank you for coming back, everyone. You have anything else to say? No, before we close up.
No, sir. Just get ready for
Some more
the
content
game we're about to put out. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we'll see you later. Thank you for tuning in to the Wealth Podcast. We'll catch you on the next one. Adios.